Welcome back to Cozy English Podcast. We're so happy to have you here with us today. If you enjoy our show, please take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes.
Yes, welcome everyone. I'm Avery and I'm here with Melody. So let's start with a question for you listening at home, and for you too, Melody. Why is it so hard to stop checking your phone?
That is a great question. Honestly, I probably check my phone more often than I'd like to admit. What about you? Do you feel like you check it too much?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes I pick it up without even thinking about it. It's just become a habit. I think a lot of people feel that way. Many of us might even feel a little addicted to our phones.
Addicted. That's a strong word, but it feels accurate sometimes. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today: phone addiction and why it happens. We'll look at the psychology and the technology behind it.
Right. And don't worry, we'll keep it simple and easy to understand. Plus, we'll share some practical tips on how to build a healthier relationship with your phone. So let's get into it. Okay, so first, what do we even mean by phone addiction? It's not an official medical term, but it describes a behavior that many of us recognize.
Mm-hmm.
In simple terms, it's when you find yourself checking your phone very frequently, almost automatically. You might feel a constant need to check for new notifications, messages, or updates.
Exactly. And another big part of it is having difficulty focusing on other things. If you're trying to read a book or have a conversation, but your mind keeps wandering back to your phone, that's a sign.
That makes sense. It's like your brain is always waiting for the next thing from your phone. A perfect example is when you check your phone even when you know nothing is happening. You just looked at it 2 minutes ago, but you check it again anyway.
Right. Or that feeling of anxiety when you don't have your phone with you. Like if you accidentally leave it at home, you feel disconnected or worried that you're missing something important.
Totally. Have you ever experienced a phantom vibration? That's when you think you feel your phone vibrate in your pocket, but when you check, there's nothing there.
Oh, all the time. It's such a strange feeling. It really shows how our brains have been trained to expect those notifications. It's like our brains are on high alert for our phones.
Exactly. So, phone addiction is basically this compulsive or repetitive behavior of checking our phones, driven by an internal urge that's hard to control, and it can interfere with our daily lives.
I think that's a great, simple definition. So why does this happen? What is going on in our brains that makes our phones so irresistible?
This is where it gets really interesting. It has a lot to do with a chemical in our brains called dopamine. Have you heard of it?
I have, but could you explain it for our listeners in simple terms?
Of course. So, dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical. Your brain releases it when you do something pleasurable, like eating your favorite food or listening to a great song. It's basically a reward.
Okay, so it's a reward system in our brain. How does that connect to our phones?
Well, every time you get a notification, a like on your photo, a new message from a friend, a comment on your post, your brain gets a tiny little hit of dopamine. It feels good.
So each notification is like a small reward. That makes so much sense. You post a picture and you keep checking to see the likes come in. Each like is a little bit of pleasure.
Exactly. And your brain learns this connection very quickly. Checking my phone equals a potential reward, so it encourages you to repeat the behavior. Check your phone again. Maybe there's another reward waiting.
But the interesting thing is that you don't always get a reward, right? Sometimes you check your phone and there's nothing new.
Right, and that is the key. This is called a variable reward system. The reward is unpredictable. You don't know when you're going to get a notification or what it will be.
Variable reward. So the unpredictability makes it more exciting.
Precisely. Think of a slot machine in a casino. You pull the lever and you might win or you might not. It's that maybe that is so powerful and makes people keep pulling the lever. Our phones are like tiny slot machines we carry in our pockets.
That's an amazing analogy. A slot machine in our pocket. So every time we pull our phone out and check it, we're pulling the lever hoping for a small win. A new message, a funny video, anything.
You got it. This system creates a powerful loop. You have a cue, like feeling bored or hearing a notification sound. You perform the routine, which is checking your phone, and you get a variable reward, the dopamine hit. This loop, repeated over and over, builds a very strong habit.
Wow, so it's really our own brain chemistry working against us. It's not just about willpower.
And it's not just our brains. The apps and the phones themselves are designed to take advantage of this. Let's talk about the role of notifications and social media.
Yes, this is a huge piece of the puzzle. The people who design these apps know all about dopamine and variable rewards. Their job is to keep you engaged with their app for as long as possible.
Of course. So how do they do it? Notifications are a big one. Those little red bubbles, the sounds, the banners that pop up on your screen. They are designed to grab your attention.
That's so true. And once you're in the app, they have other tricks to keep you there. Let's talk about the endless scroll.
Ah, yes. On apps like Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter, you can just keep scrolling down and new content magically appears. There's no end. There's no natural stopping point.
Exactly. Think about reading a newspaper or a magazine. Eventually, you get to the last page. That's a signal to your brain that you are done. But with endless scroll, that signal never comes.
That's why it's so easy to fall into that trap. You open your phone to check one quick thing.
And suddenly, 30 minutes have passed. You've just been scrolling and scrolling.
It's such a common experience. And again, it's not your fault. It's by design. Another feature is the pull to refresh gesture, when you pull down on the screen to see new content.
Oh, right. It feels just like pulling the lever on a slot machine. You pull and you wait for a moment to see what new things appear.
It's the same psychological principle. All these small design choices work together to create an experience that is very difficult to step away from. They're designed to hook you and keep you coming back.
It's kind of scary when you think about it, but understanding how it works is the first step to taking back control. Okay, so we've talked about what phone addiction is, the role of dopamine, and how apps are designed to keep us hooked. It might sound a little pessimistic, but the good news is there are simple, practical things we can do to reduce our phone use.
Absolutely. We don't have to throw our phones away. We just need to be more intentional about how we use them. So what's tip number 1, Melody?
My favorite tip, and maybe the most effective, is to turn off non-essential notifications. Go into your settings and turn off notifications for most of your apps.
That is a big one. You probably only need notifications for phone calls and maybe text messages. You don't need your phone to buzz every time someone likes your photo. This puts you back in control. You decide when to check the app.
Exactly. Okay, tip number 2, set time limits. Most smartphones now have a feature in the settings where you can see how much time you spend on each app and set daily limits. For example, you could set a 30-minute limit for Instagram.
And when your time is up, the phone will give you a reminder. It's a great way to become more aware of how much time you're actually spending on these apps.
Okay, what's another tip?
Take intentional breaks by creating physical distance from your phone. When you're having dinner, leave your phone in another room. When you go to bed, don't keep it on your nightstand. Maybe charge it across the room or in the kitchen.
That's a great idea. If the phone isn't right next to you, you're much less likely to grab it without thinking. Out of sight, out of mind.
One last tip. Try scheduling specific times to check your phone. Instead of checking it randomly throughout the day, maybe you decide to check social media for 10 minutes during your lunch break, and again for 10 minutes in the evening.
That helps contain the habit. The goal isn't to be perfect, but just to be more mindful and intentional. Start with one small change and see how it feels.
Those are some really practical tips, and they're important because this isn't just about wasting time. Excessive phone use can have a real impact on our well-being and daily lives. Let's talk about that a little. What are some of the ways our phones can negatively affect us?
All right, now it's time for our practice section. This is your chance to practice speaking English. We're going to ask you a few questions about today's topic. Please answer them out loud. Don't be shy.
Ready? Okay, first question. How often do you check your phone each day? A few times? Many times? Try to answer in a full sentence. We'll give you a moment.
Great. Next question. Do you want to use your phone less? Why or why not?
Okay, and the last question, what apps do you use the most?
Excellent work. Practicing speaking, even by yourself, is a fantastic way to improve your fluency and confidence.
All right, that's almost all the time we have for today. Before we go, let's quickly recap some of the key vocabulary from this episode.
Good idea. First, we talked about addiction. Remember, an addiction is a strong and harmful need to regularly have something or do something.
Then we learned about dopamine. Dopamine is the feel-good chemical in your brain that acts as a reward.
We also discussed notifications. A notification is an alert or a message from an app on your phone.
And finally, we talked about how all of this creates a habit. A habit is something that you do often and regularly, sometimes without knowing that you are doing it.
We have a final question for you, and we'd love for you to answer it. Write in the comments section on our website or on your podcast app. How many hours a day do you use your phone?
We look forward to reading your answers. And please, if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share it with a friend.
Thank you so much for listening to Cozy English Podcast.
We'll see you next time. Bye for now.